have any time for any gossip now. Eh? Yes. Please, I don't have any time for any gossip now. Eh? Yes.
Hey guys, we are back here for another video. I wanted to jump on here really quickly to give you guys some more information because I know later on I have some meetings. So I wanted to kind of get this done. So let's just jump right in. So on the video that I just completed, I talked about, Diddy's new lawsuit, which is lawsuit number 5. We kind of broke that down. So in this video, guys, I want to talk about Cassie's lawyer plan to basically take Diddy down and find other victims. So this is serious for him, and he is dedicated to actually doing this. And let's just jump right into where I'm getting this information from and how I know. It's pretty simple. I just, had time to basically research some information. So let me make sure you guys are aware. Now, you're probably wondering, like, where is all of these 20-year lawsuits coming from and why are they being filed right now? The problem is with, 20-year lawsuits, as I stated in the complaint that I just read, people start to forget. You don't remember certain facts. But in this case, there is something called the Adult Survivors Act. And it is in the state of New York. What that means is people who have been victims of abuse, there is no time limit. So they can basically file a suit, and it's no restriction on the time filing. So this lawyer, who actually was Cassie's lawyer, his name is Douglas Wigder. Douglas Wigder also created his own practice, and he actually specializes in these type of suits as well as stuff related to employment discrimination. So what I want to do is get into what the Adult Survivors Act entails. So let's jump into that, because I want you guys to understand his mission and why it is so important for him to find other victims, just specifically tied to Diddy's case. For one, it has expired. So he wants to find as many victims as possible. And also because he has specific information with regards to Diddy that obviously he doesn't have to do a whole bunch of research. So let's talk about this particular, what this Adult Survivors Act, what it means. Okay. So let's talk about it. So what it is stated is, it says more than 3,000 lawsuits have been filed since the Adult Survivors Act went into effect. Now, it went into effect in November 2022. Now, the reason why this is so important, because that is around the time frame. Remember, if you guys recall, Diddy stated that Cassie had been hounding him for the last 6 months. Now, they state since this was opened up, that entertainers that have been sued, Jamie Foxx, Mayor Adams, Andrew Cuomo, and then of course Donald Trump. So that's just to name a few. Now, what it states is the law set up a 1-year window during which people who claim to be victims of sex assault could sue their alleged abuser, no matter how long ago the abuse took place at all. So that is why this is important, because again, there is no time frame. Okay, so no time frame. The issues with this is people don't remember things. Okay. So what Congress people are saying is there's some good and bad things about this, because just as I stated, people don't remember, people forget. It states when someone is accused of wrongdoing 20 years ago, it's impossible to remember details. basic stuff. You don't remember that. So let's jump into where this lawyer comes into play and why his tactic is really to take Diddy down. Now, he wrote an article in Forbes, and this was just a few days ago. And he is actually a trial lawyer representing victims, and also he's part of the Me Too. And as I say, he represents what am I trying to say? Discrimination cases. So let's get into it. The Adult Survivors Act, or ASA, was signed into law by New York Governor Kathy Hochul on May 24th, 2022. Before 2019, a 3-year statute of limitation applied to civil suits for sex misconduct. So prior to them opening this up and basically allowing victims to pretty much sue no matter what the time frame is, it was only 3 years. Now, think about it. If Cassie would have tried to sue Diddy then, it would have been thrown out. So in 2019, that statute of limitations was extended to 20 years. Okay, you guys put your thinking caps on. The Jane Doe that I just spoke about in the previous video, she states she was 17. That was 20 years ago. But the extension was not retroactive. The ASA provided victims of sex misconduct in New York was a 1-year look-back window, which ran from November 24th, 2022 until November 24, 2023, giving them the opportunity to raise claims that will otherwise be barred by the statute of limitations. So this is Cassie's previous attorney. This is what he's saying. He says, I wrote in May 2022 that the passage of the Adult Survivors Act was a monumental step towards providing legal recourse to victims of sex assault. Indeed, the law has provided an enormous number of victims a shot at justice. Nearly 1,500 claims have been filed against the state of New York by incarcerated and formerly incarcerated women. For instance, combating systematic sex abuse and staff impunity in the state's women prisons, according to Molly Hagan, who was writing for the appeal. The ASA has also provided victims of sex abuse with an opportunity to pursue their claims against powerful people who were untouchable when they committed their assaults. Perhaps the most prominent case to come out of the passage of the ASA was E. Jean Carroll's lawsuit against former President Donald Trump, in which the writer claimed, now this is Cassie, a lawyer who is the writer, that the former president erred her, and this was President Donald Trump, and he was found liable in a $5 million verdict that was handed down in May. Now, this case is currently on appeal. Now, Cassie's, I keep saying Cassie's. Now, Cassie's lawyer is saying his law firm, which is Wigder LLP, he said that he filed a total of 12 cases under this ASA law before the look-back window expired. Many of these cases were filed against men who committed sex abuse at the height of their wealth and power. Diddy, when their victims could not hope to make public accusations without being submitted to ridicule and without being overwhelmed by the legal resources of their abusers. Basically referring to people like Diddy, they're wealthy. It's like, how do you come at somebody like that? You don't want to, release your name. You don't want to be harassed. So this is what he's describing. These cases have included, as an example, that of Cassandraventura, which is Cassie, who was lured into a professional and sex relationship with Sean Diddy Combs. In that case, the complaint included multiple allegations of RAPE, sex trafficking, and physical violence. On the other hand, the ASA has also provided victims legal recourse where their abusers' serial sex assaults have come to light. Okay. Oh, do I want to read that? Yeah. For instance, Wigger LLP is representing multiple victims of Robert Haddon, a gynecologist who was found guilty of crimes related to sex assaulting patients in January 2023, and whose victims are in the number of thousands. So I wanted to pretty much bring this up because I want you guys to understand the commitment of this lawyer and his desire to take Diddy down. Now, I know when I originally did my video, this morning, I talked about how in the complaint that was filed in court, how the attorney mentioned that the Jane Doe, because if you guys recall, she did not give us her name, which she is allowed to not mention her name because, of course, people, you know, may feel that they could be harassed by the public. So we have to reference her as Jane Doe. In that complaint, the lawyer stated that his new client basically stated that she learned about him through reading Cassie's complaints online. Well, I don't believe that that part is true. It doesn't mean anything with regards to how she met her lawyer, but I do believe that he has a purpose, and he is out looking for victims because he knows that this is something that has actually happened, and he understands that there are potentially other victims out there. And let me just tell you why I do not believe that this girl actually stumbled upon him and found him. He mentioned in the complaint that the young lady did not even live in the States, I believe. So think about it. I'm not sure how the news in other countries play. We barely hear about other countries and what is going on unless it's something huge. So the fact of the matter that she was able to find all of this stuff about Cassie, so the lawyer states, I don't believe that that happened. I don't believe that she actually stumbled on him because of Cassie's complaint. I believe that this lawyer is diligently searching for victims because he has insider information on Diddy. Of course, with the Cassie situation, we only know what was included in the complaint. Now, you guys must understand that there was more information that we did not hear that was held in the part of negotiation. So basically, if we don't negotiate, I've left a lot of stuff out of the complaint. If we don't come to an agreement, I'm going to let it all out, which means this lawyer has tons of information on Diddy, and I believe that he is doing his work and diligently seeking other victims, because as I have just read to you, that window was 20 years. So what that would mean, any victims that were, you know, a part of, you know, whatever he had going on that would, you know, come forward would potentially be able to sue. So that is the part that I wanted to discuss in this particular video, is that I don't believe that, you know, Jane Doe actually stumbled upon this lawyer. I believe that he is diligently looking for people, and I have stated my reasons. So I don't know what you guys think. I would love to know, you know, you guys tell me what you think in the comments. But again, based on the research that I have found with regards to this lawyer, he is very prominent in the sex abuse space. And as it relates to discrimination, he is very and thoroughly engulfed in this Adult Survivors Act of New York. So he is very familiar with that, and he is actually in this article that I actually just read to you guys. This is actually him pretty much giving his he's pretty much writing the article. So this is bad for Diddy because, again, this guy is not going to stop. Again, as I stated in the last video, I don't believe that he's going to settle. I think this is something that's going to be played out in court. And I'm going to tell you why. He settled that case with Cassie. I keep saying Cassie. Hopefully thinking that, you know, if he settled, it would go away. What happened? It didn't go away. So now people are coming out of the woodwork. So if he settles again, I mean, he's already done, but he's going to be done. So I do not anticipate that he will be settling this case. For one, everything that he thought would be over is still going on. And for the simple fact that he settled, people are basically calling him guilty. And I feel like there was a lot of information that Cassie had on him that he obviously did not want to come out. Cassie had a lot of people that would have stood with her. This is a totally different situation, totally different. So I don't anticipate him settling on this particular case, but I do anticipate this lawyer to continue to do what he's been doing. I do not see him letting off anything with regarding, you know, Diddy and Sean Combs, or whatever he calls himself. This lawyer is committed to this work. As I stated in this article that I just read, he is actually trying to work with legislators to get this reopened because, again, it has ended. The Adult Survivors Act, it has now expired. So that's why you saw all of those lawsuits. So y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And as always, I'll catch y'all in the next video.